So Ashley died. Okay. Well, shit, I guess. Although I must say, I didn't wish her to be dead, but I didn't really like her. So, yeah, it wasn't the choice. This wasn't the reason for the choice, though. Well, in part, I guess, maybe subconsciously. I don't know. Maybe.
Anything you need, Commander?
I wanted to see how you're dealing with Ash's death.
Dealing, sir. Sorry for anything I said back there. Adrenaline.
I understand. I don't like losing people either.
Of course.
I've served for years, but never lost a soldier under my command. Not to hostile action, anyway.
Really?
If you don't mind my asking, how did you deal with the losses on a cruise?
This is the mature version. You have to process your emotions. Always. Otherwise they will eat you alive. So you have to grieve. Even if it's later, you have to do it. This doesn't do anything.
I didn't stop and agonize over it while everyone else was in danger. We've got work to do, Alenko. We'll remember her later.
You're right. I can't let this get to me. Not now, anyway. Thanks for the advice.
You know what's sometimes annoying? You have these choices, right, with short words. And he said, I grieved later. But what he said wasn't actually the same thing I chose. Right? He was a bit dismissive. And I wanted him to say something like, yeah, I did grieve, of course, because you have to, but I didn't have time at the moment, and we have to do this later. So sometimes what you choose isn't really what he says. It's close, but not always the same.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I didn't figure you'd have time to talk with all that's going on. After action debriefs. What we found out about Sovereign.
The paperwork will keep. Something on your mind?
I'm just looking for an ear. The debriefing wasn't the right place to say how ridiculous this is. Seems like every other race in the galaxy is wrapped up in their own problems. They don't want to see what's coming.
I don't like any of these choices.
Wanting to believe everything will be fine? Sounds like human nature to me.
Yeah, I guess some things carry across species well enough. I should remember that after what happened with Vernus.
Who's Vernus again?
I think you'd carry a grudge over the crap you took from Vernus.
Before I met Vernus, I knew as much as any other civilian. Aliens were weird, superior, and tried to tell us what to do. I mean, it's only been 26 years since first contact. That's not a lot of time to understand.
It's true.
But it was Vernus who made me see how human aliens are. They're not different or special. They're jerks and saints, just like us. Hell, by the time I got payback, I didn't even want it anymore.
I don't see you snapping very easily. What finally did it?
He hurt Rana. Broke her arm. She reached for a glass of water instead of pulling it biotically. She just wanted a drink without getting a nosebleed. You know? Like an idiot, I stood up. Didn't know what I was gonna do. Just something. And Vernus lost it. Beat the crap out of me. Kept shouting how they should have bombed us back to the Stone Age. And that's when the knife came up.
Damn.
A military-issue talon. Right in my face. I cut loose. Full biotic kick right in the teeth. Almost as strong as I can manage now. At 17, that's something.
Interesting. So I guess emotions make these biotics stronger. We've seen this a lot in other media as well, right? Star Wars is a great example. Because that is what, for example, makes the... This is what's so tempting about the dark side, right? Because the bad emotions... Actually, there's no bad emotion. Let's say the dark emotions, like anger and pain, sadness, and grief, they actually do make you very strong, right? There's a cost, obviously, involved in that. But this is what makes them so tempting for the dark side, right? Like Palpatine said, I can feel your anger. It makes you stronger. And it's true. Like, you know yourself, if you are really angry and you can channel that anger in, like, your, I don't know, boxing training or at the gym, for example, then you are stronger. Like, you can really overcome your physical limitations out of that emotion. And it's much more difficult to do or to get the same sort of adrenaline pumping or the same sort of force and power just with positive emotions. Like joy, love, etc. That does make you feel good, but it doesn't really give you the intense power that the dark side can give you. So I can understand where this comes from, but obviously it's not a nice way to live. In this case, it was just obviously, it was actually the call for justice and protecting the innocent, which is inherent nature in any man. You see a woman mistreated, or like children, you kind of have to do something. And you've noticed yourself, right? If you've seen this, I saw this recently. There was a video of this one woman who abused her children, right? That was a crazy video on X. Luckily she's in jail, but I noticed when I saw this video, and that I have a son, he's 5, right? This kid was like maybe 10, I don't know. And apparently he didn't do his chores at home. Right, that's what she was screaming at him, like right in his face with all the bad words you can think of. Didn't do your fucking chores and whatnot. Then she whipped him with a belt like 20 times on his ass. He was already screaming. Then she pulled him up on his hair, like, get up! And was screaming at him, pulling it on his hair up, and then slapped him again. That was just crazy to watch. And I saw this, and I noticed my blood pumping. Like, I noticed that anger rising, because I wanted to beat the shit out of this woman for what she was doing to this poor child, right? And this is an inherent nature in man to protect the innocent of evil, which is what she is, what she was doing there. It's just pure evil. Because it had nothing to do with discipline, right? Like, I was spanked as a kid, but it was like maybe when you did something wrong, like something really wrong, then you got spanked, not just because it didn't do your fucking chores, right? It was because you, I don't know, threw something on the car or whatnot, and now it's damaged. Whatever, I don't even know what it was, right? And then, but you would get like maybe 2, maybe 3 claps on your ass. So you started crying because it was painful, and then you learned your lesson. But she wasn't disciplining him. She was just pure rage. She was unleashing on her own son. That was just crazy to watch. Not a fun video to watch, I can tell you that. But I did notice that this is sort of inherent in any man. This protection mechanism. Although I must also say, if you look at society these days, I'm not actually gonna say it. That just gets me in trouble. Forget about it. You tried to help Rana.
You wanted to help a girl you cared for. That's a noble thing.
Maybe my intentions were noble, but
Oh, you killed him. Okay, that's maybe a bit
lost control.
a bit far.
I killed him, Shepard. Snapped his neck. They probably could have saved him if they got him to an infirmary quick enough. But they didn't. Caused a stir when they shipped him home. Bot training was shut down. Kinetics folded a couple of years later. So, yeah, maybe I hated that Turian. I mean, if one ass was enough to judge a whole race, I'd hate humans too.
Okay, now obviously, what he did then there was the same thing. He was just unloading his rage. Had nothing to do with protecting anyone anymore. As you said, maybe intentions were noble, but the outcome wasn't. This is the same thing I said earlier, right? With the altruism thing. Your intentions don't matter, the outcome is important, right? And if the outcome would be that you stand up for an innocent person, defending them, that is great, but if you kill someone in the process, not so much. So yeah. Fair enough.
A reasonable stance. Keep that level head and we'll do fine.
Staying reasonable is about all we've got left. Everyone else in this galaxy seems to have gone out of their minds. Present company accepted, of course.
Well, I don't know about broad statements like that, but okay. Okay. Can we sex her up already? Come on.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I've been thinking about Saren. I actually feel a little sorry for him now.
Yeah, me too, actually. Because he's completely operating out of fear. And that's actually quite sad. But many people do in the modern world. Even Fast and Furious tackle this topic, which is the least, like the last movie you would think of that actually has a deep meaning. But I think it was Tokyo Drift. And it's also, of course, just only on a sort of side sentence because the movies aren't really deep. But he basically said that majority of humans are only operating out of fear. Everything you do on your daily basis, you do out of fear. You go to work out of fear of not being able to have food the next day. You do what your boss tells you out of fear to lose your job. You do your taxes out of fear that the government will come for you. You do the things your wife, girlfriend, husband, etc. wants you to do, even though you want to do it because you fear of losing them and fear of being alone. You stay in situations you hate out of fear of what the repercussions might be if you change it. So if you really think about it, I would say 90% of people, at least, and this includes me in many areas still, even though I'm aware of it, that doesn't mean I have the capacity to change it at any given point, but I would say most people actually operate mostly out of fear. Because they're sort of afraid of what might come if they change things. Right? Because people learn to love their chains, because there is some comfort in that. It's the comfort of familiarity. Right? Because we are always afraid of the things we don't understand and don't know. And if you live a shitty life, at least you know what you will be getting the next day, right? But if you change everything, you don't know what you will be getting, even if it might be better. And this is what actually stops many people from going for what they want in their life. And it has stopped me for the longest time. It was even to an extent because, as I said, after 12 years of relationship and marriage, my wife cheated on me. And a few months, like it took me 2 or 3 months, if I'm correct, to actually then divorce her. Because the first months, of course, I first needed to realize what was even happening, because that wasn't even on my scale of what's possible at all, whatsoever. I never think she would do that. And then I did first just sort of enjoy the familiarity of what I already had. And of course, there was some fear involved in divorcing her, having to sell the house, having to move, not seeing my son as much as I did at the time. So I did at first try it for the first 2 months. But then I figured out really quickly that it might seem nice and comfortable and familiar at first, but I started to hate myself because I didn't stand up for myself. Because I let her get away with a lot of things in marriage, and it was fine, all right? Nothing like on that level, but sometimes some disrespect and things, what many men do these days to keep sort of the things at bay. And I did this myself. But I figured this is a different level. She fucked some other dude while I was taking care of our 5-year-old son at home. And I was like, how can I be with this person and still like myself? Because clearly she doesn't give a fuck about me. At least I should give a fuck about myself, right? And this sort of slowly crept on me, and I was like, I can't do this. It just doesn't work. Maybe this was also just because I needed a bit of time to even realize what actually happened. Because at first you really are sort of, you push this away and you just have to do with your daily work. You have to go to work, you have to take care of the kids, and you don't even think about it, right? Just, okay, that happened. Fuck, that sucks, but I can't really think about it. And you just move on at first, but you shouldn't. You really have to think what is going on there. And trust me, if you don't take care of yourself and stand up for yourself, nobody else will. Maybe you will find someone who will for you, but if you don't do it, they won't. So you have to be the first. to do that. So I do feel actually also sorry for him, because this was a massive tangent again for Saren here, because he is actually just driven by fear and doing all of this out of fear. He claims it is logic, but that's just rationalization in his mind. It's not actually.
He's become a slave to the Reapers, and
Yeah,
he can't
exactly.
even see it.
He is trapped inside his own mind. Part of him senses his identity slowly being swallowed up by Sovereign, but he is powerless to stop it. I wonder how he first fell into Sovereign's trap. Did he think he could somehow stop the Reapers from returning? Or was he simply driven by a lust for power and glory?
That's a good question. The way we got to know him, I would say, was power and glory initially. Well, thanks for sharing, buddy. It seems you have come a long way, though. I have, indeed. Happy for you. Thank you. Came for the Mass Effect, stay for the philosophical rant. Yeah, this. If you stay here, you will notice that's gonna happen a lot with all the games. Like, it does happen quite a lot when there's just one sentence like this, and then I go on a rant for 30 minutes. So if you don't like that, this is not the channel for you. If you do like it, you're welcome. It does happen a lot. I'm that guy. But yeah, I'm fine actually, by the way, okay? So I'm still in the divorce. It's going to be finalized in March. But I see the positive, you know? Like, as a man, I was totally fine sacrificing everything for the family. This is also sort of part of being a man, right? I was totally fine. I was working hard every day. Every single penny I had, I was putting in my wife and my son at the time. And in the house, which we couldn't really afford. It was a great house, but also very expensive. And we were living paycheck to paycheck, right? And it was taking a toll on me and on my wife as well, I could notice. But it's what we wanted, and it was fine, right? At least that's how I saw it. She apparently didn't. She wanted something else, but that's what it is. And I think most men actually think like this. If I look at married guys these days, I think they're actually totally fine with sacrificing everything they have for the family. All they want in return is a little bit of affection, respect, and I put sex in affection as well, that is part of it, and love. They don't need the great praise, they don't need like super crazy expensive gifts or whatnot. Just regular intimacy, affection, meaning some hug, or like a hug when you come home or something like that, and just a nice woman. Because I always saw, but as a guy, when I work at work, and you have to deal with all the bullshit, you have to think about politics and potential wars that might be coming, you have to protect your family from mortgage, etc. All that shit you have in your mind. So when you come home, I always saw this as a sanctuary. This is where I want my peace. And when I come home, and my wife is nagging me because I brought the wrong fucking milk home, then we'll have issues. Alright? Of course you can talk about issues, but we're not in this nagging way, right? Which women do these days a lot. These days much more, I think, than in the past. And so the problem really is that men do all these things these days, but they get nothing back. It's not really an exchange as it should be. You put everything into the marriage, but there isn't really something coming back. I think that's the main problem. So I was totally fine sacrificing everything like this, but I must also say now, the house is sold at a profit, at a nice profit, I should say. This is why I spent $5,000 on this PC. That was also nice, you know? Now I'm financially free. I have no debt whatsoever. 2 months ago, I had $500,000 in debt. Now I have nothing and some money on the side. It's also nice. No, just gotta make the best of it, I feel like. So, yeah, that's what it is. I think that's generally the best thing you can do. You put yourself in situations, for whatever reason, with the house, etc., whatnot, then you gotta make the best out of it. Not everyone has the best life or has the best things, even though we in the West still have much better life than most people in third world countries. But what can you really do? You have the cards you were given and you gotta make the best of it, right? It's what you do. And gratefulness is a big thing. Gratefulness helps so much. Like that's what I was thinking all the time when I was married. I was thinking, you know, yes, things sometimes suck a little. She can be annoying. Sometimes she's just starfishing and all that. Yes, it happens sometimes. But then again, you know, I have a house. I have a car, I have a job, I have a beautiful son, actually have a mostly great wife. I was actually kind of satisfied with it. It was great. Many people have it much worse. Well, I was completely fine with that, but she wasn't, I guess. You and I are a lot alike, friend. I share your views totally. Yeah, welcome, Dan, for being here. It's nice. Love to see it. Like attracts like, as it said, right? Yeah. So yeah, are you in the same situation? I hope not. I hope you're not divorced. And if so, I guess it happens. But yeah. How do you see all that? And I think also the same is, by the way, true, because we're all gamers, right? And if your wife mocks you for your gaming hobby, which is really just a hobby, then you gotta find a better woman. 100%. I don't care what they say about it. It's a children's hobby. Absolute bullshit. Do you want to give Mass Effect to a 16-year-old child? You won't understand half of it. This game makes so much more sense now that I'm 37 than it would have been, or would have made sense when I was 18 or 19, addicted to porn. And what did I even do at the time? I don't even know. I didn't understand half of what's going on. Now it all makes a lot more sense. So I think respect is actually the biggest thing that is missing these days. With the female persuasion. Put it that way. That's the biggest issue. Because those guys back in the days, you had all these sort of lists what you want to have. You want her to, I don't know, be blonde, brunette, whatever your thing is, and slim, and big tits, and nice, and beautiful, cool, was sexy dresses, nice parents, great job, I don't know, cool cars maybe, also likes to play games, etc. And these days, guys be like, you know, I just want a woman that doesn't have a dick and is nice. That's sort of the only thing guys want these days. And you can't even have this. That's the crazy thing. Guys be like, I just want my wife to actually be nice to me and respect me. And not even that you're getting. It's a very sad state these days of the genders. It's a very sad state. Not all of them are like this, of course, right? I would also say most, and I would actually say, most marriages are actually kind of fine. And if they would put in a little bit more effort, specifically the woman, but also the man, to some extent, at least talking about it, or at least standing up for themselves, I think. Like, women should be more submissive and men should be more dominant. Then most marriages would be much better. Much better. Just this little detail would do a lot, I think, these days. That's sort of what I learned. And what I saw with friends, by the way. It's not just me, but what you see with friends, right? And how they operate with their partners. Anyway, we're quite off topic again, huh? Yeah, we'll never know why he actually did.
Whatever Saren's reasons may have been, they're long gone now. He has to be stopped.
Yes, I suppose you're right. He may be Sovereign's victim, but he is also a threat to all life as we know it.
Absolutely.
Let's not spend every free minute talking about Saren. It is bad enough we are chasing him across the galaxy.
I like talking with you, Liara, no matter what the subject.
Ah, smooth.
You have been very understanding with me, Shepard. Very patient. I appreciate that. I know there are some strange beliefs about my people. I am familiar with the legend of Asari promiscuity, but those rumors have little basis in fact. When one of my people joins with an individual from another species, it is a very deep and spiritual exchange.
I like that.
We do not enter lightly into a union.
Is this a proposition?
You make it sound almost mystical.
A true union goes far beyond an ordinary melding.
I agree.
It is a connection that transcends the physical universe.
100%.
Two become one. Thoughts and senses merge, identities intertwine. Memories and emotions weave themselves together, becoming entangled in a single rapturous
That was
whole.
well written.
It is unlike any other experience. In some cases, it can be a truly life-changing event.
There's actually something I also figured out later in life. I guess it's normal for guys. Because, like, initially, with my ex, we did all the things, right? Sexually, all the crazy stuff. I wanted to try everything, like in public and whatnot, in all the positions in every places. And she was actually open to do all this. It was fine. But the best sex I ever had sexual encounters I ever had were literally just missionary, and we were both really into it. And it was more than just a body, you were actually connecting minds and souls. That was the best feeling. You cannot imagine how much better that is than... Of course, doing it in, I don't know, a changing room is as some sort of taboo adrenaline rush, and that's great. It's a great feeling. But this is a different level. Absolute different level. But you have to have someone you can actually do this. And for this you have to be very vulnerable and open emotionally to the other person, which is not easy. Especially these days where everyone is afraid to open up. Which I also understand, because usually when you open up, you just get punched in the face immediately. And then you just say, okay, I'm never going to do this again. Never again. Not a good point. Games are for all ages, and Mass Effect is not appreciated by a 10-year-old, I think. Absolutely not. So a partner who makes fun of you or dislikes your hobby is a bit of a red flag, yes. It's actually a very big red flag. I remember this one time. That's actually, it was... No, after we married, yeah. I should have known before that, but... I remember she had 2 female friends over. And I said, you know what, you girls, you do you. I'm just gonna go into the office, a different office space, and I'm gonna play some games there. And I remember to this very day, at that point I didn't realize it, but this just burned itself into my mind. I was playing Fortnite at the time. I don't know, it's fucking Fortnite, man, but whatever. I was playing Fortnite, and I remember they came over into the office, just like, and she said something. They wanted to see what you were doing. And they walked in, and she said, see, he's playing this, and there was my Lego Star Wars Destroyer. Lego Star Wars Destroyer ship was also on the side. And they were laughing at it. Like, look at this game, and look at this thing he built there. And my wife was with them, right, laughing. And I didn't realize at the time, that was the moment where I should have kicked her out immediately. Right at that point. That was a massive red flag, but I didn't realize it because it's just blinded, right? Sometimes. But that did hurt me. And I was like, what the hell? Why are you making fun of me with your friends in front of me also? That was crazy. I never talked to her about it, but I remember that. And if you have something like that, some sort of happening like this, or if she makes funny remarks about your game, kick her the fuck out because she doesn't respect you. Because someone you respect, especially someone you love, but even just simple respect. I wouldn't laugh about a friend having a hobby like this. I was probably just saying, okay, I don't really like, I don't understand why you do this, but it's fine. It's your thing. You do you, man. But laughing at him, what? It's crazy. But yeah, that was a bunch of red flags that I conveniently ignored for a very long time. But yeah, in hindsight, you know, right?
Are you saying you want to...
No. Oh, no. I am not very good at this, am I? I'm sorry, Shepard. I am trying to explain why I have been so... reserved. The Union is more than just sex. It is the lifeblood of my species, the way we Asari evolve and grow as a society. That is why I have never... that is why we must choose our partners with great care. Unbelievable.
But does she even have the like genitalia for sex at all? Because she's a different race entirely, like a species, I mean.
I want you to be absolutely sure about this, Liara.
I am only 106, barely an adult by Asari standards, and I spend most of my time absorbed in my research. I never really thought about it, not until I met you. You are very special to me, Shepard. But with all that's happened, Saren, the Geth, the Reapers, I do not know if we are ready for this.
Well, maybe now is the time to do it, if not of all times. Now, usually you gotta be a bit more, with women you gotta be a bit more straightforward, right? Which usually I would be going with the we are, but considering she's technically a child, at least in her standards, I'm not really interested anymore. But let's just understand it. But usually if key thing, alright, I'm gonna tell you guys, if you wanna get in a woman's pants, you gotta be straightforward. don't play around the bush and don't always just say, listen, I understand. Say, listen, I really want you, my lady. Right now. Okay? That's it. Trust me, it works.
These are dark times, Liara. Maybe once all this is over...
Or we could do it before it's all over.
I'm glad you understand, Shepard. There is too much at stake. We need to put aside our personal feelings and focus on stopping Saren. I wish it did not have to be that way. But we all have to make sacrifices. Let's talk about something else.
Let's see. If we get one more time to talk to her about this, we're definitely gonna go a bit more direct.
I should go.
We'll
Goodbye,
see.
Shepard.
Yeah, goodbye. Have a good time. Pretty funny though. Funny interactions. Alright, anyone else got something to say? Ashley's gone, so we can't talk to her. Oh, what are you guys?
It was an honor working with you, Commander Shepard. Despite the losses, our mission was a success. My superiors will duly honor Chief Williams for her actions. Her sacrifice has earned humanity a great deal of respect from my people.
She knew what the risks were. Any of my officers would have done the same.
Of course. The grim reality that every soldier must accept.
True.
Rest assured, Commander, my men and I will not forget what you have accomplished here. We will leave your ship as soon as you reach your next destination. Perhaps we will have the opportunity to work together again someday.
Nice. I like that. We made friends with the... what are they? Batarians? No, Solarians. Right? I think.
Commander, things got heated back on Vermeer. You did what you had to do. I respect your choice.
I appreciate what you did, Rex. I won't forget it.
Just make sure it was worth it. Saren has to pay for what he's done.
Yeah, we all agree on that.
We'll have him soon enough. Then he can answer for his crimes.
He'll do more than just answer if I have anything to say about it.
So long, Rex.
Agree.
Shepard.
What's this? What? Oh, okay, I see, that's the lockers. See. Right, Garrus, what you got?
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while.
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
Didn't we talk about this already?
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
Disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
Damn.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the cycles. I remember this one L-Corps diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station in a bit of a panic.
Okay.
But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility,
Oh, I see.
counteract the effects of the genophage.
Huh.
It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Yeah? Go on.
One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
Damn.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Damn.
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in there. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
That's crazy.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order.
Damn.
They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't listen.
No, I agree with you.
Well, you can't get them all.
No, but letting him get away like that. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
Well, yeah, that's a tough choice, 100%, because you kind of don't want to kill the hostages, right? Obviously. But at the same time, it feels like they let him get away too easily. I mean, at least send some ships after him. Just let him fly out there and then that's it. I mean, what the hell? If you don't want to kill him in front of the Citadel space, then just send ships to follow him. I mean, what?
I suppose I can see both sides. But what's done is done.
I suppose. Can't waste too much time worrying about it now. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
I gotta go.
Commander.
Man, these background stories are really cool. Oh, the last one doesn't work anymore, huh? Oh. I see. Ashley. Aquarian lady, what you got?
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Theron's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
We've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
Of course.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example.
Yeah. Everyone does.
Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage. Something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed. And that reflects badly on both me and my father.
I think, you know, sometimes you just have to disappoint people. Because if you kill yourself in the process to live up to other people's standards they impose on you just for how you were born or whatnot. That's their problem, man, not yours. So I think sometimes it's totally fine to disappoint people. I mean, what if you save the galaxy, right?
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian has ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen.
Well, that's
Our
stupid.
greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
It's kind of stupid, to be honest, to not care about anything that happens outside of your immediate perimeter, because there might just be a lot of bad things happening, right? You can't just ignore that, and it could have an influence on your life as well, right? For example, if the Repos destroy everything, then your flotilla doesn't mean shit.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
Alright.
I should go.
See you later.
Alligator. Alright then. Alright. Proceed. Ding. Oh, is this the only door I have to click for it to open? That's odd. But okay.
I forwarded the mission update to the Citadel, Commander. We got confirmation on those reinforcements. Ambassador Udino wants us to report back to the Citadel. The Council's massing a joint species fleet to deal with Saren and his Geth.
So they are sending some reinforcements. Okay, I was wondering.
I knew they'd come around. Back to the Citadel, Joker. I want the Normandy at the head of that fleet.
Yes, sir.
Stuff.
Good job, Shepard. Thanks to you, the Council's finally taking real action against Saren.
The Ambassador is correct. If Saren is foolish enough to attack the Citadel, as you believe, we will be ready for him.
Patrols are stationed at every mass relay linking Citadel space to the Terminus systems.
You think a blockade's going to stop him? He's on Ilos looking for the conduit right now. What are you doing about that?
Ilos is only accessible to the Mu relay, deep inside the Terminus systems, Commander. If we send a fleet in there, the only possible outcome is full-scale war.
Now is the time for discretion, Commander. Saren's greatest weapon was secrecy. Exposed, he is no longer a threat.
That's
this
bullshit.
Is over.
That is bullshit. Why are these politicians always so daft and not seeing the obvious? You think just because he is not operating in secret anymore that he's now done? Destroying the entire galaxy? How can he be so blind?
One ship going into the Terminus systems won't start a war. I can be discreet.
You detonated a nuclear device on Vermeer. I wouldn't call that discreet.
Your style served you well in the Traverse, Commander. We recognize that. But Ilos requires a deft touch. We have the situation under control.
No, you don't.
Secrecy isn't his greatest weapon. The conduit is.
Saren is a master manipulator. The conduit is just a distraction from his real plan to attack the Citadel.
Well, that's some bullshit.
Sovereign's the real threat. Saren's just a servant of the Reapers.
Only you have seen the Reapers. And then only in visions. We won't invade the Terminus systems because of a dream.
Then you're all fools.
One ship going into the Terminus system.
You detonated a nuclear device on Vermire.
Your style served you well in the Traverse, Commander. We recognize that. But Ilos requires...
If Saren finds the conduit, we're all screwed. We have to go to Ilos.
Ambassador Udina, I get the sense Commander Shepard isn't willing to let this go.
Correct.
There are serious political implications here, Shepard. Humanity's made great gains thanks to you, but now you're becoming more trouble than you're worth.
Is that so?
You bastard! You're selling us out!
It's just politics, Commander. You've done your job, now let me do mine. We've locked out all the Normandy's primary systems until further notice you're grounded.
Damn. Damn.
Are you insane? After everything I've done, you still don't believe me?
I think it's time for you and your team to leave, Commander. This no longer concerns you. The Council can handle this, with my help, of course.
I don't trust this Udina guy. I never did from the beginning. He was always an asshole. That's kind of some bullshit.
Commander. Shepard, I cannot believe they did this to you. I am so sorry.
It's not your fault.
It's not right. You did everything they asked and more. Nobody else could have done what you did. The Council owes you everything, everything. Instead, they strip you of your command and ground the Normandy.
You can't trust politicians. That is probably correct.
I don't care if they ground me, but they refuse to go after Saren. If they don't stop him from finding the conduit, we're all dead.
Yep.
Perhaps we could appeal and get them to reverse their decision.
I pushed them as hard as I could. They wouldn't budge.
So you're going to walk away? You will just give up and doom the entire galaxy to extinction?
Yep, fair point.
We lost the battle, not the war. I'll figure something out.
Exactly.
I believe in you, Shepard. I am with you every step of the way.
Oh. Kisser, come on. Do it. Now's the time.
Sorry to interrupt, Commander. Got a message
Fuck's
from
sake.
Captain Anderson.
Come on, Joker. Master cockblock out here. What the hell? At least he had the balls to actually go for a kiss, because that was obviously the exact correct time to do it. But then cockblock Joker is at it. Feels bad.
Are you spying on us, Joker?
No, sir. Just knew you were on the ship and figured I'd pass the message on. The captain said to meet him at Flux, that club down in the wards.
You should probably go meet with him.
Yeah. You come with me though, lady. I want the Quarian with us this time. He's cool.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Sure. I still find these shoes so funny. I don't know why. They just look funny. Anyway.
After years of poor economic performance, ExoGeni has announced that its research colony on Pharos is finally returning a profit. New discoveries and a dedicated colonization effort have finally paid off for ExoGeni. ExoGeni stock rose sharply with the announcement, with investors pleased at this surprising news.
What was ExoGeni again? I forgot. Where did we learn about this? This was a while ago. Shit.
Commander Shepard?
Kalisa Algi, what?
Kalisa been seen in Al-Jalani, Westerland News.
What?
Would you answer a few questions for our viewers?
What do you want to know?
You've been given a unique position to represent our race. People want to get a sense of how you'll do that.
I see.
Humans have been trying to get the respect of the galactic community for 26 years. With that in mind, what are your feelings on being the first human Spectre?
It's overdue.
The Spectres represent the best of every species in the galaxy. To be asked to join them is an honor.
Some have said your appointment is the Citadel throwing humans a bone. Have you encountered any situations where the Citadel asked you to place its needs before the needs of Earth?
What the Citadel asks you to place its needs before needs of Earth. I see. Not really. They didn't put it. They didn't place their needs before the place of Earth. They placed their needs before the needs of the entire fucking galaxy. That's what they did.
The Council is concerned with the needs of the whole galactic community. We're part of that community now. Our needs are on their agenda, but we're one of many.
You really do believe that, don't you? You've been given command of an advanced human warship for your missions. Is there anything you'd like to say about it?
He's a fine ship. Time to shut you up.
Actually, the Normandy was co-developed by human and Turian engineers. Its design incorporates many innovations, all of which are classified, I'm afraid.
So the Turians have knowledge of the Normandy that is being kept secret from the Alliance public? Do you think it was appropriate to hand Earth's most advanced warship over to the Citadel?
Of course. That's actually very accurate how the news would operate there. Leading questions that have no basis in reality or what you just said. Also, it isn't handed over to the Citadel. That's not true. Yeah, here I could actually need this. I commanded Normandy. Just because we co-developed it still...
I wasn't aware it had been handed over to anyone. I'm in command, and last I checked, I'm human. Same goes for my crew.
Human, yes, but you do work for the Citadel now, Commander. Speaking of your new job, did the Council order you to sabotage human research concern on Noveria?
Human resource... What happened there again? Human resource concern. Oh, the hot labs thing, right.
The Council had nothing to do with it. There was an accident at Binary Helix Labs. In the interest of protecting the company's confidentiality, I can't say more.
That's a surprising revelation, Commander. We've had nothing but stonewalling from Binary Helix.
I'm not a liar.
Given your recent experiences, do you think humanity will ever get the respect it deserves from the galactic community?
Respect's a funny thing. People always assume they deserve it. The truth is, respect is earned. And I firmly believe we can earn it.
You're an idealist, Commander, but a sincere one. I hope you're right.
Well, he's half correct.
One last question, Commander. Rumors back home say you're tracking a rogue Spectre named Saren. Do you have any comment on that?
He's half correct on that. Yes, respect is of course earned. Right, a simple example. I'm a small streamer, right? People don't give as much weight to what I say as they, for example, do to someone that is much bigger. Which, by the way, can always be wrong. Just because you have a lot of viewers, I have a lot of money, power, influence, doesn't mean what you say is actually correct. That's the first key thing you have to figure out. Same is true for someone that's my size, right? So that is sort of, by creating something of worth, and it could just be entertainment, right? It doesn't have to be, you don't have to cure cancer or whatnot. It can just be entertainment. By creating something of worth, you gain respect from people, right? It's also true in your marriage, for example. If you create something of worth for your marriage and your children, for example, you provide a house, like I did, then you deserve, and I use deserve here, then you do deserve respect from the people because you do this for them. And this is what many men don't get these days, which is what we were talking about earlier extensively, so I'm not going to repeat myself. However, and this is where he's incorrect, there is, I think, everyone should get a base level of respect, regardless of what they did. All right? She was obviously talking about general, the council and the galactic community respecting humans as a whole. That's a different story, but the sort of base level respect every race should get, or every person should have. I think this is not how respect works, that you earn it. That is something you deserve always. Any human deserves it. But above that, the base level, surface base level of respect, that has to be earned. That is, of course, correct. And you do this by providing something of value. Like the Quarians do, for example, right? And this is why nobody respects many of the celebrities out there that try to school us regular people on what we should do with our life while they sit in their LA bubble with millions of dollars. This was so funny through COVID, right? When they were sitting in their, I don't know, 15-acre mansions, telling everyone, oh, we have to stay home, we can't go out. It's not a big deal though, right? Because of course, you can actually just go for a 2-hour walk around your property, right? I can't. So how about you fuck yourself, right? That was some bullshit. Nobody bought into this. And this is where you lose respect. If you talk down on people, or if you don't actually provide value on the same level. Right? That's what it is. And this also, by the way, why this is some interesting topic. Just briefly, okay, before we proceed. You might have noticed that there is a lot going on with the LA streamer group, right? I can name names. It's like Pokimane and Cutie Cinderella and Ludwig and Hassan. And all these big streamers that sit around in LA and just jerk each other off, basically. That's what they do. They're all liars, by the way. I'm going to say it as it is. They are all liars in what they do. And they're all fake and backbiting snakes. It's very obvious if you look at them a little bit. I don't like talking shit on people too much. But it's because this is important. Because Ludwig just yesterday, I think he said, because Burnt Peanut is currently making big rounds on Twitch, right? He has many thousands of viewers. He's a very big streamer. And all of a sudden, Ludwig comes forth and says, man, I really like him. I will be on his funeral. And I'm like, all right, the LA crew has a new victim to leech off, right? That's what's going on here. He doesn't care one bit about that person. Only because he has a lot of viewers and he's trying to leech off of that. And this is why people disrespect him so much. There's, of course, a lot of idiots who still watch that. But most people, most common sense, regular people see through that bullshit. And this is where you lose respect. Especially going forward, because with everything becoming so fake, especially with AI and in general, it has been going on for years, but especially with AI going forward, people desperately seek authenticity. You and me both, right? If you watch someone, you want them to be authentic with their thoughts, their beliefs, what they say. And this is why these streamers will all fail in the next years. Quote me on that. They will. Unless they change. Unless they come forth and say, alright, this is what they actually truly believe. Because they're all lying. They are, all of them. Just playing pretend. And so, they are losing respect left and right. And it will eventually fall back on them. We will first and foremost see this now with the upcoming Streamer Awards. But yeah, it's crazy. Because it's all fake anyway, but this is one of the big things where it will crumble. I gotta go for a bit, but you should punch Khalisa Al-Jilani in the face. Shut her up. That's the only choice I will weigh in on. No, I don't think I'm gonna punch anyone. I mean, it's just a news person. Whatever, who cares? Just gotta play nice with them. Actually, it's not true. You just always say the truth. That's what you do, right? That's what I'm all about. I don't care if it hurts people's feelings. I always just say the truth. A rogue spectre named Sarah. Do you have any comment on that? Well, I really can't confirm or deny that. Because that is has nothing, this is not in the interest of the public right now, I don't think. That would just stir shit. That does nothing either.
I'm afraid I can't comment on whatever my current assignment may or may not be.
Don't worry, we'll find out. The eyes of Earth are on you. Don't let us down. Thank you for your time, Commander Shepard.
Yeah, that was actually the correct answer here, because ongoing investigations, you can't really talk about that, obviously, right? I have so much money. Can I actually buy something anywhere? Wall? Oops, I did not mean to pick out my guns. Relax, everyone. Journal. Oh, the flux, right. Right, the flux. So what do we have? She's not good at any guns. That's interesting. Pistols, I guess. We'll go with hacking. All the way into hacking. And a bit of healing, obviously. Armor is important. Damn, she's no health. What the fuck? Maybe she's not that good, actually. That's fine. I should probably play with Garrus more, because I've built him up a lot. Whatever. Oh, we still have points here. Okay, he's pretty maxed out, isn't he? I don't need to intimidate at all. I guess we go for pistols then. We don't ever use them. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, the flux. How do I get to the flux at all? Walking bay? Lower walls. It's the lower walls, isn't it? I think.
I am curious about the helmet you always wear, Tali. Does it contain technical augmentation systems?
No, living in the clean environment of the flotilla has weakened our immune systems. The environmental suits protect against
Why are you
diseases.
jumping around like this?
I suppose that makes it more likely you will return from your pilgrimage then. You are only truly safe on your flotilla.
True. I mean, I guess the only way to strengthen your immune system is by exposure, right? So you could just slowly expose yourself.
Hey, Commander Shepard. Good to see you again. Anything you need?
No.
I have to go.
Right. You're probably real busy. Well, see you around, Commander.
I am, actually, kind of.
Excuse me. You're the Spectre, right? Commander Shepard, it is an honor to speak with you.
What's this demonstration about?
I'm Charles Saraceno of the Terra Firma Party. With Armistice Day coming soon, we're making our voices heard by the alien appeasers on the Presidium. Can I count on your support in the next election?
What does that even mean?
You're marking the end of the First Contact War with a protest?
As we have every year for the last 26 years. The war taught humanity a lesson that some would forget. If we don't stand up for ourselves, no one else will.
That's not how this war went down, is it?
I thought the lesson of the First Contact War was that there's other life in the galaxy, and they have opinions too.
Perhaps so, Commander. But if aliens feel free to express their opinions at gunpoint, why shouldn't we?
What happened at the mass relay was a misunderstanding. If you saw a child about to touch a gun, wouldn't you stop them?
I'd pull them away, yes. I wouldn't shoot them dead.
Well, you guys have a point on that. But yeah, there was, right, yeah, the Turians, that was the First Contact War, right, I remember. We were at the mass relay and were about to activate it, or maybe even did. Humans, I don't know. That is what brought the Krogans? No, this other species into the realm. And then the Turians attacked us because we did that. Yeah, that was maybe a bit extreme to do that. But it definitely doesn't help to then run around pointing guns at people and saying, that's not doing it.
I don't know Terra Firma's platform. What do you stand for?
Our core value is that Earth must stand firm against alien influences. Politically, culturally, and in the worst case, militarily.
That is not unreasonable, but some of the things these people are saying sound a bit bigoted.
Excuse me, I don't believe human politics are any of your business.
What the Alliance does affects everyone around it.
We live in this galaxy, Mr. Saraceno. We can't pretend that what we do affects no one else.
Yep.
No, of course not. My apologies. I only meant to point out that other species have no right to interfere in Alliance politics.
I mean, they can still voice their opinion. You don't have to put it down.
What are you running for?
I'm seeking one of the 5 spacer seats in Parliament. They have certain baroque conditions for a citizen to be able to vote for them. You have to spend more than 6 months a year in space, but you can't have stayed in any one settled system for more than a month. You do spend most of your time in space, Commander.
It's tough. You see, here's how I see this, because you can obviously not just look at this from the game scenario standpoint with aliens and Earth and all that. You can also look at it from our current society, right? With also aliens, they're called the same, right? Basically, just other people coming into your own country. And I think that basically there is nothing wrong with multiculturalism as it is said on a very base level, but it has to be controlled. Because the reality is that some cultures are just more advanced than others at this point in time. It doesn't mean that the other less advanced cultures are not able to do this. It's very simple. If you now have Earth, let's for example here, be flooded with aliens like the Solarians, or let's say the Krogans, then quickly Earth will become most of what that is. Because, for example, the Krogans, let's say they didn't have genophage and they could actually reproduce more, then they would be replaced by that very fast, and then you lose your own species. But that doesn't make sense. You have to protect your own country, planet, civilization. But it doesn't mean you keep everyone out. It has to be regulated. There are laws you have to follow for that. It's very simple. It's the same in real life with immigration as it is here. So you obviously are with the alien pieces to an extent because you want to be open to any sort of other culture that they can have interesting things. Because it works, this actually works on Earth literally everywhere, right? It's a funny thing. If there is controlled immigration, and it, for example, has happened in the West for hundreds of years, no problem, and these people integrate themselves properly into the society without trying to change it completely, it's all fine. There's no problem. Nobody has anything against that. It works out for everyone. Exceptions apply, but on average, I would say it does. However, if you have too many of them, so you can't really control what's going on, and they are then trying to change everything and trying to replace you, then you have to get them out. Very simple. So I think this is, for example, actually what Trump is doing right. Anyone illegal has to be deported. If they want to come back into the States, then they have to do it on the actual legal way as it is known. Fine. And there should be also a limit. For example, yearly, I don't know, of how many people come in, so they don't replace your citizens over time. And there's nothing racist about that whatsoever. It's just protection of your own culture. But yeah. So none of these choices are good here. I guess I don't care.
I'll think about it. Excuse me.
Your support would mean a lot, Commander.
Remember Shanxi!
No blood for aliens.
No, then I have to actually make a
Commander,
choice.
have you changed your mind? Terra Firma could use your support in the election.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Sorry. I believe we need to work peacefully with other races.
Yep, absolutely.
We've heard that before in human history. Well-meaning naivete leads to declarations of peace in our time. We can't allow anything like Shanxi to happen again. I don't suppose I could convince you to issue a public statement of support for my candidacy.
No.
The support of the first human Spectre would be invaluable.
You have the right to your opinion, Mr. Saraceno. But with all due respect, I disagree with it.
I understand. I'm glad you support the democratic process, at least. Thank you for your time, Commander. Remember Terra Firma on Election Day, because Terra Firma remembers you.
Yeah, but that's a pass. Because this... As I said, it's not that simple. It's not a yes or no choice. You have to work together with the other ones peacefully, but you still have to protect your own culture, planet, whatever. But you can't just say yes or no. It's not that simple. Wait, this is not the flux, is it? Where does it go to the flux? Oh, there it is. Ding.
Pardon me, soldier. Can I take a moment of your time?
There's always some dude trying to talk to me. Damn. What the hell's going on here? All right. What happened?
Yeah, what is it?
Why were you tossed out of there?
Doran didn't have a clue what I was doing. He assumed I was cheating.
But you were cheating, were you not?
I was just tipping the scales in my favor. Only as an experiment.
That's cheating.
It still sounds like cheating to me.
To you, maybe. But this device is merely intended to simulate situations and record results. Recording losses is easy, of course. Nobody notices those.
Why do you need to record these outcomes?
Ah, now you're getting to the heart of it. I've spent the last 5 years developing a system that can accurately predict wins and losses on the Quasar. I just need a few more recorded wins and I can complete the algorithms.
Everyone has tried this before, it doesn't work like that.
Can you do that? Isn't that illegal?
It's illegal to use my system, but I won't use it. I'll sell it to others. I just need a few more wins recorded.
I think I'll take my chances the old-fashioned way.
Suit yourself. Well, I have some calculations to do. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you. That's not who I am. What do you want?
Soldier, I've got a major situation, and I need help from somebody with humanity's interests at heart.
All right.
What kind of situation are we talking about?
Of course, right to business. That's why humanity has the best damn fleet in the galaxy.
Do we?
My name is Elias Keeler. I'm an alliance negotiator. We've got a big session coming up with the Solarians. You wouldn't believe what's riding on this. I'm fighting for humanity on this one, just like you are.
Just get to the point, man.
I understand. It's important. So what do you need?
Well, in order to do my best for humanity, I need the best resources on the market. There's a mental stimulant that increases alertness and cognitive function. It's legal, but restricted. I've purchased the monthly limit, and I need more from the medbay.
Oh, I see.
Keeler, you've got a problem. You need to get treatment.
It might look that way from the outside, but this is just a one-time slip-up.
Of course, it always
All the
is.
top negotiators are on stimulants close to the legal limit. It's the way the game is played.
I don't see all the top negotiators soliciting help to go over the legal limit, Keeler.
Maybe you're right. I've been trying to keep humanity strong, and maybe I've pushed myself too hard. I'll tell you what, this will be the last time I use the stimulant.
Yeah.
After this deal is finished, I'll get treatment.
No trade negotiation is worth ruining your life for. Let it go and get help.
You don't understand. Humanity needs me, and I need that stimulant. Without it,
He's addicted.
I don't know anymore. I get so tired when I run out of the stimulant. I just need one more boost.
There's no shame in having a problem, but you have to get treatment.
You're right. I'll go tell my assistant. I shouldn't be working like this.
This game has so many deep topics. It's crazy.
I'll get help.
It's crazy.
Just sorry it came to this.
It is crazy. We're trying to max out Paragon because we're a good guy.
It's not
Alright, how's it going? Still the same lady's dancing. She's got the moves. I like it.
Strange metal creatures with real AI. Yes, but there's more. There always is. I heard they had some connection with a rogue Spectre.
Not this again.
Why is that so hard to believe?
Who says that?
Whatever you say. Just don't expect us to believe it too.
That was it. Okay. Rita, you're still here. How are you doing?
Hey, Jenna came back looking for work. Thanks for getting her out of Cora's den.
I was glad to help out.
Yeah, everyone seems real happy to have her back.
I sense that you are less than pleased with her return.
I'm glad she's out of the den. I'd just forgotten what it was like to have her around.
I see.
I haven't had a decent tip since she got back.
Alright, I see. I see what's the problem. Anderson, you gotta wait. Because first...
I'm waiting for someone else.
Hey there, welcome to Flex.
Wait, where's this, where's the table dance club? Because I want to know what Liara has to say to that. I don't know how do I get to this. It wasn't here then, I guess. It's not in the flux? We're gonna figure it out later. It's fine. Alright, Anderson, what you got?
I'm glad you came, Jimmy. I heard you.
They pulled me off the mission. Just like when they forced you to give up the Normandy.
I know, I'm sorry. I wanted to warn you, but there was no way to get a message to you before you docked. I know you're pissed off right now, but you can't give up. They all think this is over, but we both know it's not. You have to go to Ilos. You have to stop Saren from using the conduit.
Yes, but how?
There's only one ship that can get me into the Terminus systems undetected, and she's grounded.
Citadel controls locked out all the Normandy's systems, but if we override the Ambassador's orders, we can get them to bring the Normandy back online. You can be in the Terminus systems before anyone even knows you're gone.
If we steal the Normandy, you're the one left holding the bag.
And if Saren finds the conduit, life as we know it is over. The Reapers will destroy us. Humans, Asari, everybody. You're the only one who can stop him, Shadow. So I'll do whatever it takes to get you on the Normandy and off this station.
Stealing the Normandy is mutiny. What if the crew won't help me?
The Normandy's your ship now, Commander. Her crew will follow you to the ends of the galaxy. We both know that.
I won't forget this, Captain.
What a good guy.
I promise.
What a good guy.
I can unlock the Normandy from one of the consoles in the Citadel Control Center. You'll have a few minutes before anyone realizes what happened.
That is a restricted area patrolled by armed guards. How are you going to get in?
Leave that to me. Just make sure you're in the Normandy when the systems come back online.
There's got to be a better way.
Ambassador Udina issued the lockdown order. If I can hack into the computer in his office, maybe I can override it.
He won't just stand by while you use his computer.
Hopefully he won't be there. If he is, I'll just have to think of something.
The Ambassador will not forgive this, Captain. You will be charged with treason, a capital offense.
We don't have a lot of options. I break into the Ambassador's computer, or I take my chances with the patrols in Citadel Control.
Well, I can't really decide this. I think he's better to judge what is correct here.
It's your call, Captain.
I'll break into the Ambassador's office. He made this personal. You ready to get the hell off this station, Commander?
No, not yet.
I still have some things to take care of.
Come see me when you're ready to do this. I'll be right here waiting for you.
Good. 1 sec. Just wait. I don't even know what the business is we have to do. There's so much stuff. Why is this a mission even? I don't want any help. Embassy lounge on the Presidium level. Oh yeah, this one. Presidium level. Embassies, I guess? I think. I don't know. That's Avina. Asana. There we go. I have to go this way. Okay. All right. Just turn in some quests. Ding. Ding ding. Wait, what? Oh, right there. Oh my.
Commander Shepard, I am Nasana Dantius. I'm glad you're here. I must talk to you about my sister Dahlia. She's been kidnapped by slavers.
Dahlia's dead, Nasana, and I know she was blackmailing you.
And I was all set to try to manipulate you into hunting her down for me. But I guess that won't be necessary now, will it?
You wanted your sister dead?
If people found out my sister was a criminal, I'd be considered a security risk. They'd revoke my clearance, or place me on administrative leave until she was apprehended. I shall transfer a little something into your account as a token of my appreciation. I'm sure you'll find the amount satisfactory.
Got a better deal. What's that?
You're a diplomat on her way up the ranks. It could be handy to have a Spectre who owes you a favor.
You make a good point. Anyone can come up with credits, but I can give you authorization to purchase prototype Asari mods. I will get you added to our manufacturer's preferred client list. I think you'd be very interested in what they have available. Goodbye, Shepard. It has been a pleasure doing business with you.
And where can I buy this now?
Thank you for all your help, Shepard.
Lady? Okay. Marine samples. What is this? Any wood system? Okay. Okay, so can't do anything. Wait. The fan. Oh yeah, that's it. Dispute? Yeah. Keep us for 20. Yeah, okay. Okay, we can't do any of these. Alright, I guess we just go on. But actually, anything you got? No, not John. What are you doing? Codex.
Faster than light, larger warships are generally classified in one of 4 weights. Frigates are small.
Frigates. Okay, there's nothing interesting new here. Personal. We got this. Asari religion. The pantheistic mainstream Asari religion is Siari. Just an anagram of Asari, isn't it? No, it's not. Not quite. It translates roughly as all is one. The faithful agree on certain core truths. The universe is a consciousness. Every life within it is an aspect of the greater whole. That's actually correct. And death is a merging of one spiritual energy back into the greater universal consciousness. Yes, you could frame it like this, but it's a bit complicated. You could just say that your soul is dropping the physical body it's using to exist in the physical, which it doesn't need otherwise, so you just let that be and move on. Siarists don't specifically believe in reincarnation. They believe that spiritual energy returned to the universal consciousness upon death will eventually be used to fill new mortal vessels. Isn't that the same? Just with more words? Siari became popular after the Asari left their homeworld and discovered the ability to meld with nearly any form of life. This ability is seen as proof that all life is fundamentally similar, which is correct. Siari priestesses see their role as promoting unity between the disparate shards of the universe's awareness. Before the rise of Siari pantheism, Asari religions were as diverse as their political opinions. The strongest survivor of those days is the monotheistic religion worshipping the goddess Athame. Like the Asari, the goddess cycles through the triple aspects of maiden, matron, and matriarch. It's still funny to me, and actually quite a cool concept, that they basically mate with everyone and everything, and that is how they get understanding of other species. But this is also why they're seen as whores. Kind of funny, actually. We talked about this. Culture. While Turians are individuals with personal desires, their instinct is to equate the self with the group and set aside personal desires for the good of all. Turians are taught to have a strong sense of personal accountability, the Turian honor that other races find so remarkable. Turians are taught to own every decision they make, good or ill. The worst sin they can make in the eyes of their people is to lie about their own actions. Turians who murder will try to get away with it. But if directly questioned, most will confess the crime. Ah. Then why do they murder in the first place? Turians have a strong inclination toward public service and self-sacrifice, so they tend to be poor entrepreneurs. To compensate, they accepted the mercantile Volus as the client race, offering protection in exchange for the fiscal expertise. The Turian military is the center of their society. It is not just an armed force, it is an all-encompassing public works organization. The military police are also the civic police. The fire brigades serve the civilian population as well as military facilities. The Corps of Engineers builds and maintains spaceports, schools, water purification plants, and power stations. The Merchant Marine ensures that all roads get needed resources. Interesting. How do they actually reproduce? Metal poor core, generating a weak magnetic field and allowing more solar radiation into the atmosphere. To deal with this, most forms of life on Palaven evolved some form of metallic exoskeleton to protect themselves. A reflective plate-like skin makes Turians less susceptible to long-term low-level radiation exposure, but they do not possess any sort of natural armor. The Turians' thick skin does not stop projectiles and direct energy bolts. Although life on Palaven is carbon-based and oxygen-breathing, it is built on dextro amino acids. This places the Turians in a distinct minority on the galactic stage. The Quarians are the only other known sapient dextroprotein race. The food of humans, Asari or Solarians, who evolved in levo amino acid-based biospheres, will at best pass through Turian systems without providing any nutrition. They also trigger an allergic reaction that can be fatal if not immediately treated. Interesting. Unification war. At about the time the Solarians and Asari were forming the council, the Turians were embroiled in a bitter civil war. The Unification War, as it was later named, began with hostilities between the colonies furthest from the Turian homeworld, Palaven. These colonies were run by local chieftains, many of whom had distanced themselves from the hierarchy. Without the galvanizing influence of the government, the colonies became increasingly isolated and xenophobic. Interesting. Very interesting. Colonists began wearing emblems or facial markings to differentiate themselves from... Oh, I actually read about this. Yeah. Yeah, I see. I've been there. We have been there. Avina, you got anything new?
Welcome to Presidium Tourism Terminal 1. On the far end of this level, you can see the Citadel Tower, where the Council meets regularly to discuss matters of interstellar importance.
Bye. Goodbye.
Goodbye, and thank you for using Avina. Please enjoy your visit to the Citadel.
Shut up. Waltz locations, and then the flux, I guess. There you go. The flux.
Still can't believe that could happen out in the open like that.
Anyway, so... Oh shit, I didn't mean to do this. My bad. We gotta stop here, gentlemen. I know it's a shorter stream today, but I sadly got on a bit too late, but that's what it is for today. And we're gonna keep this cliffhanger because we're gonna start the mission next stream to get out of there illegally with mutiny and treason to steal the Normandy. So that's what it is. And it's very interesting though, very interesting to see where this is going. But I assume-ish that the end is near. It feels a bit like that the game isn't gonna take that much longer because we're actually hunting Saren down, probably kicking his ass, and then do something with the Sovereign, whatever that might be. I don't know. But that's what it looks like. So yeah, thanks everyone for being here. Anyone who was new here, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. If not, then goodbye and have a good time. And everyone who's always here, thank you for always being here. And I will be back on Wednesday. Is that true? It is true. Not tomorrow because my son's coming over. And I'm going to spend the afternoon with him. And then on Wednesday we're going to stream again. Same time, actually no, an hour earlier than today. I'm going to stream on Wednesday. And that's it. Thanks everyone for being here. Have a good time. Check out the VODs. The VODs are in 4K 60. Currently at Control. Then there is Batman Arkham City. And then we are with Mass Effect. But there is also some other VODs, like Expedition 33, if you want to check that out. For example. That was great. Or Near Automata. Anyway, I'm going to see you guys around. And you all have a jolly good time.